I'm making breakfast in my kitchen, and I am having, I don't know if it's like a philosophical moment or what. And I'm like thinking to myself about like gratitude and gratefulness and sustainability and disappointment. And I'm just gonna go on a little bit of a rant. I think that lately I've been dealing with a lot of disappointment. And by disappointment, I mean like, obviously, for starters, first world problems. It's not like disappointment in like an intimate way. It's not disappointment it's not an overwhelming disappointment kind of feeling. It's more like these things, constant little things keep happening, which make me feel like it's like a snowball effect of negative things, negative feelings, negative thoughts, negative situations. So one thing happens, and then after that, something else happens, and after that, something else happens, and after that, something else happens, and constant. It's like this constant little cycle of very small disappointments. And I was sitting talking to my husband, as I do, child, and I was explaining to him, like I was gonna craft a whole script for this idea that I have in my head about disappointment, but I was like, I'm just gonna, just say the things that I want to say right now because I'm ranting, and I think what I have in my head is really good, and I need to record it to get it out just in case I lose it. So, as I'm sitting here talking to him, or as we were talking the other day, I was kind of like, I'm very disappointed in what's going on currently, like right this very second, with the things that we have to do, or like the things that have transpired. So this is not hot. For things that we have to do, or things that have been happening in regards to like our move. And in this process of moving, there's just been constant little disappointments in regards to our unit, in regards to the things that we want in the unit, in regards to being in between where finances are concerned, trying to make sure everything's good for the move, trying to make sure everything's good for the finances, trying to make sure everything's good as we just live this life, right? And as we've been living, there's been disappointments. And my thought process of disappointments, I was sitting here talking to him, I was like, I've been very disappointed lately. And I've been thinking about the disappointment that I've been feeling lately, and I've been realizing that I understand perspective. I understand that the disappointment that I'm feeling is very small in comparison to a lot of different people and what other people can be experiencing and what other people are actually experiencing. Literally, I mean, there's a job going on in Palestine right now. I mean, people in Haiti don't have clean water. We're talking about various things that can be that can get worse. Things can go really bad. And as I've been dealing with the disappointment, I'm realizing that disappointment is necessary. Disappointment is necessary. And the reason why disappointment is necessary is because you won't be able to you won't be able to be grateful for the good things if you don't have the bad. It's literally just like yin and yang. If you don't have the bad things, if you don't have the bad days, if you don't have the bad moment, how are you going to appreciate the good ones? You're just not. So the disappointment that I've been feeling is necessary. And in that disappointment, it's been forcing me to practice more gratitude. And as I've been practicing more gratitude lately, I've been realizing something about myself is I'm not, and I think this probably goes for more people, I am not somebody who thinks about the today. I'm very not present in a lot of things because in my mind, I'm trying to focus on what I have to do, or I'm trying to focus on what I need to do, or I'm trying to focus on what's ahead of me, my goals, the things I need to get to, the goalposts. I'm so focused on the goalposts, I'm not worried about the gap. My best friend sent me this article a couple months ago, and what the article was saying was, you have to live in the gap, which is being aware of where you came, understanding you're not where you want to be, and still working towards the goal that you want to be in. So the gap is just the present. Like, you have to be more present. And as I've been trying my best to be more present, and as I've been trying my best to apply more perspective in my life and be more grateful, I've been realizing that gratitude is what makes life worth living. Gratitude is what makes life long. Being focused on the little things that you didn't even know you would be grateful for, or the things that you don't even know that you have, is what makes life feel long. The reason why life feels short, when the phrase to me, in my opinion about life being short, is because we're focused on the goalpost. And again, the goalpost is always moving. We're going to be constantly trying to get from one thing to another. And if we're always trying to get from one thing to another, where are we living in the future or the past? because we're worried about what we did to get to change that to get to where we're going instead of worrying about where we are. And for some reason that has been sticking out for me like a sore thumb. Like I'm just like I'm just very grateful to be living the life that I'm able to live, simply because it could be worse. Not only for me, but in general. Like my life, my existence, the deck of cards that I was dealt could have been completely different. And I think if people have made their lives more, if people have come out of different things that have made their lives a little bit better, then why can't I just be grateful for the things that I have? When I think that a lot of my life is much better than what it was, and it's only gonna get better. So I just feel like it's so easy to be focusing on the goalposts. It's so easy to be in your young 20s and you're rushing to the bag. Like I'm 27, I'm still trying to figure it out. And I feel like in this day and age of obviously social media and engaging with people that are maybe younger than you, that you feel like are further ahead, or you feel like there's people that are your age that are pregnant, married, kids, career, they have the whole thing. It's like, the reality is, what do you have that you can be grateful for today in comparison to comparing yourself or to worrying about the goals that you have or the things that you've done and the things that you want to do? What about today? What can you control today? Being present and practicing gratitude is not as easy as people make it seem, because your mind is always, at least mine is, my mind is constantly in a different place. As I'm doing one thing, I'm literally thinking about another thing. I could possibly have ADHD, don't get me wrong. And I think a lot of people actually have more and more have been diagnosed with ADHD, especially with the rise of like TikTok and social media. So I could have that too. That could be somewhere in there. I've never been diagnosed, but I don't know. But what I do know is my mind is constantly in 15 million different places. As I'm doing one thing, the moment I even wake up, I'm thinking about the date. As soon as I think about the date, I think about what I have to do. As I think about what I have to do, I'm thinking about the things that I'm going to be doing. And even when I'm doing those things, I'm thinking about the things that I have to do then later. It's like, at what point are you actually sitting and going, damn, I'm awake today. I have another day to do something else. I have another day to live this life that I've been given, regardless of the deck of cards. Let's also put into perspective that everybody's life doesn't go that way. Let's also put into perspective some people are fighting for their lives, literally. And even in the slums of Brazil and the freaking the world that we live in general, there are people that are practicing that. There are kids that are playing soccer and having fun. And somebody would look at their living situation and be like, oh my God, I can't believe they live in that. But they're happy, they're grateful. So what's the difference? Is the high-rise apartment really worth it? I think everybody knows that that's not what it is at this point. But I just feel like when you really sit and you think about it, it's like, is the goal post that you're assigning to a specific goal worth losing the long life that you could possibly be living if you practice more gratitude? Is it worth it? You could live a long life when you're dealing with people, when you're dealing with yourself, when you're in your inner monologues doing its thing, when you're thinking, when you're maybe meditating, when you're doing those things, when you take a moment and it's just like, wow, I'm having this moment right now with this person. Wow, I'm so grateful to have this life or to be doing this thing at this moment in time. And I just think that little nugget is really sitting out for me. It's really twisting my brain this morning. And I decided to take my camera out and record that rant because, I don't know, I feel like there's so many things that can make one person like really feel like, okay, this life isn't for me, or, you know, the nihilistic mindset, or just feeling very down and out, especially during holiday season. I mean, even in that, the reality is you as an individual, not only are you important, but you are so pivotal to being the person living the life, doing the things that you want to do. It literally just takes either one day or today. It's gonna be one day or day one. So I don't know. And then another thing that's been sticking out for me in my mind is the new and the young content creators, like the content creators that are younger than the age of 25, who've blown up, and who have been experiencing like negativity and have been having to face a lot of things that I don't think they've ever faced before in their life, because being a content creator in a lot of ways not only are you holding multiple hats, even with a team, you are also putting your mental state is being challenged with everything that you do, because you provide a certain level of entertainment, or you provide a certain level of a lens on a light, or a lens into your life, like literally. And I think that it's very easy to get caught up in the negative that people have to say. But what is your reality? Somebody's online right now so upset about something that either you had or didn't have control over, or just not, either way, it doesn't matter, right? Somebody's online right now so upset about something that you've either done, said, did, whatever, posted, and you get to live a life where you're still getting maybe your brand deals, you still have your friends, you still have your family, you still have your health, you still have your home, your life, right? You're doing all these things and you have all of these things. So if your reality does not coincide with the negative comments, what does it matter? Listen, I'm not a guru at any of this stuff, and I've never even experienced a level of virality or understanding of what it feels like to have a lot of eyes on you. But I can tell you one thing: you will never catch me in the comments arguing with somebody. Nobody's ever gonna change, like ever gonna really make me feel some type of way about an opinion that they have about me. If you're part of the audience that cares, then good. If you're part of the audience that doesn't, then that's great too. At the end of the day, the reality boils down to this. I live my reality. I'm in my reality. I'm self-aware enough to be like, nah, this is what I'm doing every day. So turn off your phone and focus on what you're doing to be more grateful to the life that you're supposed to be living. Because the reality is, some people just want to hear themselves chat. For real. Some people just want to hear themselves and they just want to be on a bandwagon. And there's an actual psychological, I don't know the article, but there's an actual psychological thing in the brain where the brain reacts to negativity 10 times more than positivity. Nobody cares about the person who's the philanthropist that's helping a different country get clean water. Nobody cares about the kid who created the next big software that's going to be saving millions of lives in the medical field. Nobody cares about people becoming the first, Haitians becoming, a group of Haitian kids ended up being the first Haitian kids to ever go like to a robotics fair. I don't know if it's a fair, but like a robotics competition, and they were dominating and they're the first ones. Nobody cares about those positive things. Nobody cares about positivity. People love and they revel and they thrive in the negative. And if you are gonna allow the negative to ever compromise your mental state, you have to focus on the things that actually work for you. Because there are corners of the internet for everybody. The internet's vast and it's massive. It feels small, but it's massive. And there are so many people that are out there that really love you as whatever content creator that you're doing. They love you. They love what you provide. They love what you're giving. And I think focusing on the positive and focusing on the gratitude instead of allowing anybody's negative comment to get to you, I think is worth it. Because if I turn off my phone right now, the negative comment doesn't exist anymore. And when I turn off my phone, I get to live in my house or my home. I get to have my partner. I get to live the life that I want to live. So how much of this negative comment is really going to be in my psyche? What am I doing? Do I know why I'm doing what I'm doing? Do I also understand the reason as to like what I'm providing, the reason as to why I'm doing what I'm doing? Like I just feel like the concept of negative comments in a lot of ways, they say you have to have thick skin to be a content creator, and I don't disagree with that. I just also feel like if they're talking about you in any way, positive or negative, you're doing something right. I feel like the negative thing that people bring always is funny to me, because in my real life, like in your real life, that negative comment doesn't exist. Turn off your phone. Get off fucking social media. I'm sorry, like get off of social media, because it's so minuscule. Like it's like freaking super tiny in comparison to the reality that you live. Get off of it. Post your content. Do your thing. Become a content creator. Do your thing. But also turn it off. Compartmentalize your time. Of course, it's easy to get consumed and sucked in to content because it's not only somebody's job, but it's also their livelihood. People literally go to content for dopamine hits. People literally go to content to get their laugh, to turn their brain off. Do other things. I've been doing it myself. Like I remember I looked at my screen time a couple weeks ago and it was like, oh, 10 hours this week on Instagram. I was like, absolutely not. I'm not spending 10 hours on Instagram. Am I getting paid on Instagram? Like, I'm not gonna be doing that. I need to be doing something else with my time. And if I really wanna be on my phone that bad, read articles, I've been playing Tetris. As you guys know, I love chess. I've been playing chess a lot more on my phone because I don't want my phone to then be the crutch as to why I can't do something, or to be this thing that makes me feel so engulfed into something that literally has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. I'm gonna post my content. I'm gonna do my thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna use it as a tool that it is. But anything else that comes out of it that does not go towards or align with what I'm doing, it's not real. Like, I'm not even giving it any energy. It's not delusion. It's just not, I'm not even paying attention to it, so it doesn't exist in my world. Create a part of the internet that provides the support and the love and the energy that you provide on the internet. There's so many people that I follow that I literally feel like I can feel the genuine through the phone. So many people. Jackie Ina, Aaliyah's Face, Monet McMichael, Patricia Vite. I mean, there's so many people that I follow, Sham Boudrim, that I'm like, damn, Chrissy Cello. Even artists, like there are so many artists, I mean, you hear them, you're like, oh, I feel like this person is just so genuine. Kaylani, like, I just feel like this person is just a genuine person. And maybe that's just me being naive. Maybe. But I feel like there is a vibe. Bria Jones, there is a vibe of people that when you follow them, you're like, this person's just genuine. They're just living their life. They're just doing their thing. And I'm happy for them to be sharing those things. I don't understand how anybody wakes up any day and starts a smear campaign over somebody who they don't really like or whatever on social media. Like, you don't have anything in your reality that actually makes you feel grounded enough to be a better person for you to be doing that. Because you wouldn't say it to my face. You wouldn't say it to her face. You would never. You saw this person right now in real life, you would never go up to this person and be like, oh, I hate your music. Oh, I hate your content. You would never do it. It's because social media gives you the cojones to do that. So I say fuck them. That's what I say. That's my rant for this morning. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this content. I always say that, but those are my thoughts. Those have been my thoughts this morning.